Hello and welcome back to the Bleeping Mechanic. Got another project in the garage. Let's get to it. So what we have here is a 2016 Ford Edge. It has the 2-liter EcoBoost. It is currently at about 150,000 miles. And what we have going on is a little bit of an oil leak. There actually is like 2 oil leaks in this. The one that we're going to tackle today, though, is a very common problem. So over here on this side, right here, is an auxiliary vacuum pump. And that runs off the camshaft as the motor runs to create additional vacuum because the motor itself is not able to create enough vacuum needed for the whole system. There's a seal between that vacuum pump and then the head/block. So right where the head and block meet, because of the way it lines up with the cam, there's actually 2 points where the gasket is leaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that apart. That involves us taking off the tube for the intake, as well as a couple vacuum lines. That will come off. We'll go ahead and clean that all up, put a new gasket on, and go ahead and do that. All right, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and pop off some hose clamps. We've got one back here that we'll go ahead and remove. And we're just trying to get this big tube out of the way. Nice and loose. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this off. There we go, one off. So I went ahead and popped the little plug off of there, so this way it's out of the boot hole. So let's go ahead and remove these vacuum lines next. So this one here, 2 little tabs. Push them in together and then push them back. That comes off of there. This one is a double pinch. Very fun to get to. A little rubber hose right here. We'll just pop that off. These are all vacuum lines. And I'm just doing this to get this out of the way. There we go. All right, so that should allow for this thing here. Slide off and more out of the way. So now you can see better. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the vacuum off the actual auxiliary. Pinch this and then you pick up. There we go. You heard some vacuum in there. All right, so that takes everything off of the auxiliary unit. All right, so the first one is right here. I'm going to break each one of them just free. It's 8 mil. All right, that one's loose. There you go. And there's one more bolt back here. Third bolt right there. At least they're all easy to get to. This was why I wanted to remove that air intake. Get it as far out of the way as possible. As you can see, I would be working right in that spot. There we go, third one out. There we go. Now let's try it. There we go. Give it a little wiggle. Don't want to force anything off. There we go. There it be. And that seal is this one right here. And as you can see, there's a lot of oil that was coming down this way. So we're going to go ahead, we'll remove this and clean it all up. we will also clean up that surface. I'm just going to wipe these surfaces down, make sure they're nice and clean, because we're going to put some RTV on there. And this is very, very common for these to have problems. So on here, those two surfaces, if this was sitting in there, like so, those surfaces are right about here. And the other one is just above here. So it's right across, kind of like a center plane a little bit, right here and here actually. And so what we'll do is when we'll clean this up real well, we'll pop out that gasket, put the new one in there, new seal, and we'll put the gasket RTV on the block. So we'll very gently, we'll get a pick for this. So I don't want to scratch the surface. I just want to get this out of here. There you go. Plus this seal, I can already tell, feels very hard. It is hard as a rock. Just cleaning this all out real quick. Coloration, that's from the engine oil. That gives you a good indication of what the inside of the engine probably looks like. It's probably going to be all that kind of golden color, which is not bad at 150,000. All these surfaces nice and clean. All right, so I'm going to grab the new gasket. Well, here's the new gasket. There's the part number, OEM part. And they seem to be pretty well available everywhere. So I'm just looking at it to see if there's any indication of top or bottom, and there's none. When I was looking at the other one, there was nothing there too. So I'm just going to gently set that in there. There we go. That's good. Good clean. So for the gasket, I've got 90-minute gasket maker by Permatex. And I'm going to put a dab of this on the block surface. So again, I'm just going to wipe this down one more time. Nice and clean. All right. And the two, again, what we're going to do is we're going to put them in two spots right where this mates. So right here is a line between the head and the block. Same with right here. So right at the end of this. You see right here and right here. So I'm going to put a dab there, and I'm going to put a dab there right where the gasket's going to touch. I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger. I'm just going to rub a little bit. Not a lot, but just enough. There, and then over here. There we go. So that's got gasket right where the two block surfaces meet, and that will help seal the gasket and prevent that area, because that's usually where it ends up leaking from. So now we're going to very carefully bring our vacuum pump back down here with the gasket on it. You have to come in on an angle. To get it to go in the hole. There we go. And then line this back up with the holes right around here. There we go. Seat it in there. Get the top one started by hand. All right. Move some stuff out of the way. Next one. Actually, you know what? While I got that one, I'm going to put that one in quite a bit more. There you go. So now I'm going to do that bottom one very carefully. There you go. Use my extension. Use the extension in there to get this in all the way on the bottom. There we go. And then that last one on the back side. All right. Go back and forth on these. Till we get them snug. There you go. Now it is sitting all the way flush against the block and the head. All right, torque spec is 89 inch-pounds. There's that. Go to the bottom. There's that one. One in the back here. There you go. And then we'll just go around and hit them. All right, 89. 89. Last one again. 89. All right. And then now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll reverse the process. Get this one on first. That's snapped in. Good. We'll bring this guy back up and connect it to the front first. There you go. Slide on vacuum hose here, all the way on. Slide this one on here. Oh, hitting the camera. That just snaps in. Snaps in. And get this airbox one on. There you go. All right. Fuel line Christmas tree, we'll pop that back into its hole as well. There you go. And then now we will tighten down these hose clamps. There you go. That's on. That's in. That's in. That's in. Christmas tree snapped on. This is plugged in. We were going to try to remove that, but we didn't. There you go. So that does it. That's how you change out the gasket that's leaking on a 2016 Ford EcoBoost 2-liter. This is on a Ford Edge. It's probably very similar to that on the Focus, or sorry, well, it would be the Focus ST. A lot of the Fusions, the Escapes, they use this motor in a lot of vehicles. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. If you have questions, concerns, if you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button to see some more. And hit that subscribe button. It's really going to help out. I appreciate everything you guys do for me, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.